This episode of Android Weekly was brought to you by Bitdefender, the #1 ranked antivirus technology. Go to bitdefender.com to learn more. Welcome back to a special edition of Android Weekly. My name is Jace, and today's brief show is for the purposes of distinguishing between all the BS rumors and the genuine leaks regarding the Galaxy S5. Now, on a more somber note, I wanted to extend my sincere condolences to my brother in Android, Joe Hindy, who suffered a deep loss when the men's Olympic hockey team and the women's Olympic hockey team suffered a whopping defeat at the hands of the Canadians. Again. And as a Canadian, I wanted to say I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry. And so what I will do is I will change my country's colors from white and red to white and gold! All right, now as happy as I am that the rest of the world has to submit to Canadians' godlike hockey powers, I have to say my brain has been rattled in the past several weeks with all the conflicting rumors when it comes to the Samsung Galaxy S5. So the purposes of today's show was to sort through that and give you my personal take on the most credible leaks and rumors that we can count on for next Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to start with design. Now, if you remember when the S4 was launched, many people complained that the S4 just looked too similar to the S3. So, Samsung executives have gone out of the way in the recent months to make the message clear that the S5 will look and feel different than the S4. In fact, Lee Young-hee, Executive Vice President of Samsung's mobile business, recently mentioned that the display and the feel of the cover would be the most noticeable changes. Now, in my mind, that is doublespeak for a faux leather back, a very high-resolution screen, and possibly a screen with very little to no bezels. Moving on to hardware. The following is the most recent and what I believe the most accurate leaks regarding hardware specs. The S5 is expected to debut with a 5.24-inch 2560 by 1440 AMOLED display with 560 ppi. It's important to note, however, that a New York Times report claims that the handset will actually have a 1080p display and a not so-called 2K display. So which rumor is right? Perhaps both. This is not the first rumor we've heard that there might be two versions of the S5. We expect a Snapdragon 800, perhaps an 805, and an Exynos variant. Other specs include 3 GB of RAM, 32 to 64 GB of storage, 16 megapixel rear camera, and a 3.2 megapixel front camera, and a 3200 milliamp hour battery. Now let's dig into that fingerprint scanner rumor, shall we? I found recently a blog post from Sam Mobile that made a claim with quite a bit of confidence that the Galaxy S5 will indeed launch with a physical home button fingerprint scanner. But they also claimed that once the home button scans your fingerprint, a real-time image of your fingerprint will be displayed on the screen. Now, if people saw leaked images of that, that might lead them to incorrectly believe that there was an on-screen fingerprint scanner, which from an engineering perspective is much more difficult in 2014. So I'm going to call it. I think that's what it is. Let's wait and see. Now let's talk software, and we have many more credible leaks regarding the whole deal between Google and Samsung, and the fact that Samsung has agreed to scale back their TouchWiz customization and use a much more closer to vanilla version of Android. So I think it's pretty clear that that is what's going to happen. I know many of you have asked when this magazine UX will be brought to all devices and not just tablets. I suspect that it won't. We shall see Monday afternoon. Now for all you shutterbugs, let's talk camera. The Galaxy S5 is expected to feature a 16 megapixel sensor on the back and may even feature ISOCELL technology. This is basically new technology that promises increased light sensitivity and higher color fidelity, even in poor lighting conditions. Now let's talk pricing and availability. There is some indication that the flagship device will be a little bit cheaper than some people expect, or we will have two different versions, one with a high resolution display that would be the top tier price and a lower 1080p resolution that will be a little bit cheaper. I hope so. We shall see how that goes. Now, when it comes to availability, we are expecting a launch in April. We shall see how it goes. Don't forget, Android Army, this Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the official launch of the Galaxy S5. I will be watching and working furiously all night to try and get out an official video for you, giving everything you need to know. You can expect late Monday night or early Tuesday morning. It's coming. Watch for it. You don't want to forget about my brothers in Android, Josh, the Tech Ninja, Kevin, and Chris, and Joe, buddy, tried to point out that no Canadian NHL team has won the Stanley Cup in 21 years, forgetting the obvious fact that every NHL team is stacked with the gods of hockey, Canadian hockey players.